the KCSE results were announced by the Cabinet Secretary of Education, that is Julius Ogamba. 1,693 students got A's, 48,333 got E's, and then quite a bunch in between. But then the bigger question for all of these parents is, what next after KCSE? What do I do with my niece, nephew, son or daughter? Well, worry not. We do have an expert joining us this evening who will be helping you as a parent really understand all this. Scholar Odhiambo, welcome.
Thank you.
Kindly tell us who you are, and then, first of all, what are your thoughts about this year's results? I know you've seen quite a bunch of them.
All right, like you mentioned my name, I'm a career development practitioner and also the secretary of CDAC, that is Career Development Association of Kenya. Yes, we also the results having come just after the festive season, and everyone was wondering, wow, they are here. And looking at just an analysis in regards to just the figures you have read, and allow me to just concentrate on the ones that were wanting, the 48,000 that you've just mentioned. This is actually an increase out of what we had last year. Last year we had an increase of 30,000 E's. So that's an almost 18,000 increase. So you can actually see the shocking is not just on the parents, but it's also on the students and the whole teaching fraternity as a whole, because the A's have reduced and the E's have increased. Yes, we only have 2 years before we phase out the 844 system. And that keeps asking, where is the economy going to? Where is the education system going to? Yes, we're all excited about the grade 9. So next year, like now, we are going to be having a different conversations, because now we'll be having the grade 9 as candidates. But just looking at what the results that have just come, what next?
And sorry on this, and sorry to cut you short, the fact that you went deep on the E's as well, and one would ask, I mean, how does one overcome this, particular kind of grades? Because as parents and guardians, you oftenly hear this a lot. What do I do with this learner, the fact that he or she got this kind of grades?
One of the things we advise as career development practitioners is to allow you not to let the grades define you.
Okay.
But start defining what are your interests, what are your passions, what are your talents, what are your gifts, and in general, who are you?
Okay.
Right before you get to choose your career, because it starts from who you are before you get to what you do.
Okay.
So the moment you identify that, one, you're a human being, number two, you're sober, number two, these are your weaknesses, these are your strengths.
Right.
You do a SWOT analysis. Then from there, it's very easy from there to be able to gauge what you have. The results are just a tip of the iceberg, just because it's the part of the education system. But that should actually not define everything around your life, because that was a span of 4 years.
Yes.
But in that particular 4 years, that was just one exam that helps define you. So just don't concentrate on defining everything around you. And I'm also talking to parents, because those are the others that are, you see the other day, a daughter who just rested because she got a D. It was very sad, because the influence was, the beating came from the dad. That means the parent was very disappointed. What about the disappointment that person who sat for the exam? So those are the ones who are wondering, what next?
And in the 4 years, this question crops up a lot.
Yes.
For these learners, unataka kufanya nini? What do you want to do? What do you want to be after, Form 4? So for parents as well as guardians, this whole conversation about the career development, when should it start maturely, really?
It should actually start at the age of 7.
Okay.
So only that it is like climaxed at after Form 4.
Okay.
Because we first start with self-assessment. That's what I was just mentioning in terms of your interest and the SWOT analysis I mentioned. And there are tools currently. So we just don't do a random way of checking things. We have psychometric assessments where we're able to sit down with you and help to analyze right from the mind. Very simple questions, and help you the same way we do surveys or interviews. You're able to actually do exams or interviews that are actually quite intelligent. Then after that, to help you to explore what kind of from who you are to what are the positions, what are the skills that you have, what jobs can you be able to explore.
At age 7?
Yes.
But I mean, after that would mean for parent and guardian, you will be hearing a lot of changes from this learner. I remember, I think when I was 7, I wanted to be a veterinary doctor. I'm not that right now.
Because everything has changed. But you can imagine if you started that because you saw so many cows. So you can imagine, since seeing the cows that time, and you kept going to the agricultural show and continue being a veterinary doctor, how with the kind of expertise, because your mind is growing. So it all depends on the exposure. So that is exploration. and we allow them to explore. Changing is agreeable because even personality changes, your value system changes, and even interest gets to change. Then after that is you go to decide, which is now what people are asking, what is it, what next? So you're able to help you decide your particular career path.
At what age do you decide?
That now decisions continue coming in with time, because you see there are stages of each particular, and that is why you can see in terms of skills and talent, we have people who are really progressing right from the age of 10.